What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Ectoplasm Show. My name is Josh Hurd, and joining me is my good pal, confidant, partner in crime, Mr. Jason Kupsik. What's cracking, Playboy?
I got some awesome news today.
What's your awesome news?
I have Google Fiber coming next Tuesday, so a week from the day of the release of this show, I will have it installed and ready to go.
Motherfucker. You know how mad I am? You know?
Why? How can you be mad?
Because I'm jealous. That's what it is. I'm jealous. I want fiber internet. Do you understand the shit that I go through?
I hear about it.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point. You have to listen. So, last week, I was gearing up for this giant fucking trip to Pennsylvania, right? And while in Pennsylvania, the idea was to show the film, right? And then after we showed the film, we were going to go live with the film and make it available worldwide.
I was watching.
We did that. Yeah, okay. So we did that. Here's what's interesting. It took me, sitting here in Iowa, it took me 10 different tries for the upload. For me to upload my fucking movie onto realhouse.org, 10 tries. You were involved in half of this. Like, you were listening to me bitch.
That's part of the reason we didn't record last week.
It was absolutely the reason. It was terrible. Because I was I put my whole house on an internet ban. Netflix.
How many gigabytes is that film?
Was the film?
Yeah.
It was 10. Like 10 and a half, something like that.
Come over to my house. You could do it in 30 seconds.
So this is what I'm saying. The next time I have a film coming out, which hint, hint, wink, wink, nudge, nudge, may or may not be within the next 2 months. Yeah, absolutely. Because I can't just sit idle. You know what I mean?
No, I know what we want to do.
No, yeah. I have ideas. So, regardless. Yeah. I'm just going to basically grab my laptop or whatever, an external hard drive, and just drive my happy ass over to you. Because even in the amount of time it would take me to drive to your place, drink a few beers, and drive home, it would still be faster.
Yeah.
Promise. Fuck, man.
All right. I'll read a toast so we can get some good vibes going.
Let's get the good vibes going. Yay for Google Fiber.
Here's a sigh for those who love me, and a smile for those who hate. And whatever skies above me, here's a heart for every fate.
Wow.
Cheers.
Cheers.
My buddy Jim from Southern Missouri is watching on Twitch. He says he's ready to hear some freaky stuff.
Hell yeah, man.
Also, I just want to take another minute to bitch. I got a notification today saying, in the state of Kansas, you need to be registered to vote by tomorrow to vote in the upcoming election. And I'm like, who the fuck am I going to vote for? I'll vote for myself, I figured. Maybe I'll call out. People vote for Ectoplasm. Right in campaign.
Fuck yeah. Fuck yeah.
I think my wife will vote for me. I don't know, though.
Mine most certainly will not. I promise that. She knows me way too much. Oh, my God.
I also want to mention at the top here to give us a call at 913-730-7255. Go check us out everywhere online. Jim says I have his vote. So I'm also hitting the YouTube hard.
You have hit it hard.
I missed a couple days, but I'm making up for it. I uploaded a video today. I've made 2 other videos just now. Those will all be uploaded by tomorrow, and then I'm going to have the Ectoplasm this episode tomorrow and another one to make up because I want to make one video for every day of this month.
Sexy. That's always nice. Always nice.
Yeah, have you checked them out yet?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I'm watching them all the time.
Have you seen that new speaker I got?
I don't know about that.
Then you have been watching.
What do you mean?
It lights up when I play the spirit box through it. It makes it lights up and bounces around. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
I haven't seen that then.
I don't know what I think about spirit boxes, but it's fun to play with them. Whatever.
Whatever. Oh my goodness. So I've got something here. I'm gonna kind of skip around my notes a little bit here, but I've got something. It was a little interesting. It caught my eye. It says UFO researcher texted, quote, "If anything happens to me, investigate."
I saw this.
Did you? He sent this text to his mother, and then he was found dead. Pretty fucked. So UFO theorist Max Spears was found dead in his home in Poland. It was quickly determined that the 39-year-old father of two died from natural causes. 39 years old, my friend. Okay? You and I aren't far from that.
No.
And he died from natural causes.
I read through it real quickly. I decided not to pull it. But
yeah.
Does it say in there if he had some crazy information that wasn't out there already? Because I'm trying to figure out why they would kill him just for talking about it.
They allude to that. So it says here, I'm just going to read through it a little more. It says there are those, including Spears' own family, who questioned how a young, relatively healthy young man could die of natural causes. Now, add to the fact that Spears reported... let's see. He sent this text message to his mother, and it literally says this: "Your boy's in trouble. If anything happens to me, investigate." Now, he had sent that then to her just a couple days before he was then found dead. So he was. There's the fact that it was quickly judged to be natural causes. No autopsy being done at the time. No reason for red flags for the family, as well as others online are having a hard time accepting the cause of death. According to reports, Spears was known to investigate major cover-ups by governments when it came to UFO activity. Spears had made quite a name for himself in trying to get to the truth, but could try... Let's see. Yeah. It says, those who follow conspiracy theories online seem to think that... something fishy was going on. Spears' family believes it could that could be the case as well. Let's see. It says it took a while for an autopsy to be done, so apparently they did it. It took place in Kent, but it says, but get this, as of yet, no results on the finding have been released to his family. So all his mother has to go on at the moment is local authorities in Poland are telling her that he died from natural causes, and disturbing text message sent to her, or sent from her son just days before. God, people can't fucking write, though. If Spears knew his life was in danger, he would have wanted somebody he felt he could trust to know. That would be his mother, obviously. So far, she refuses to believe that her healthy young son died of natural causes. So freaking crazy, though. She says that... he was making a name for himself in the world of conspiracy theorists and had been invited to speak at a conference in Poland in July. She also goes on to say he was staying with a woman who he had not known for very long, and she told me how she found him dead on the sofa, but I think Max had been digging into some dark places, and I fear that somebody wanted him dead. So, I mean, it sounds to me that, yeah, maybe he did kind of like kick the hornet's nest a little bit. And took care of it, but it doesn't specifically say.
I'm gonna have to look into him more because
yeah,
I wonder how much more he did than what we do.
See, I don't know. I don't know the guy. You know what I'm saying? Just freaking crazy though.
Because if like he would have to have something unknown.
Huge.
Because we did the Clinton one, and we were joking about it. Even if we had died, like mysteriously, for whatever reason, I don't think anybody would have actually looked into it.
Oh, probably not, because they don't listen to the show.
Well, no, maybe our buddies that listen would be interested, but what would they do? I mean,
I don't know. Speaking of our buddies, though, I talked to our good buddy David Williams from the UK.
Yeah.
Talked today. Actually did like a face-to-face like phone call thing via Facebook Messenger. It was the coolest fucking thing because I haven't done that. But it was very much like Skype, you know.
I heard he has a problem with me.
You know, he's still waiting for an apology from you, actually, because you fucked up. You fucked up. You said the wrong name for his wife. His wife's name's Kat, and you fucked up.
I told him through Messenger that I was sorry about that.
I know, dude. We were laughing about it. It was a good time. Good time. Oh my goodness. Fun stuff, buddy. Fun stuff. So you got something sexy for me?
I do. Motorist spots dogman in Wisconsin.
In Wisconsin?
Yeah, Wisconsin. Not too far.
No, but the dogman. There's a lot of reports in Wisconsin about the dogman.
Yeah, I think they live in underground caves.
And
drive limousines around.
Maybe they do. I don't know.
Anyways, this comes from hidooth.com, which stands for Hidden Truth.
Nice.
Motorist spots dogman in Wisconsin. David M., a Canadian businessman who provided a last name but requested to be kept anonymous, told Cryptozoology News on Monday that he had been driving along Interstate 94 the night of October 1st when he came upon the alleged creature. And I'll have to second the spelling because, well, not even necessarily spelling, just grammar. I did a paranormal news video today for the YouTube channel.
Yeah.
And I had to edit it because the way it sounded while I was reading it just made me sound stupid.
I hate that.
It's just a couple little edits, but still.
Yeah.
Anyways, quote, I was hoping to make it to the casino in the Dells and stay there, he says. As I drove along, I noticed a figure moving towards the right side of the road. David described it as a black 6 to 7 feet tall creature and a fuzzy and shaggy in appearance. Quote, it was standing upright, slightly leaned forward. He added that he could not figure out a head or upper limbs because it was a quick glance.
Okay.
But there was one thing about the animal that really captured his attention. Its legs. They were slender and backwards from that of a human, and were dog-like in anatomy, with long sloped cannon bones. The cannons were sloped nearly 45 degrees and very long, about 3 feet.
Damn.
The strange biped, he says, walked with a very peculiar gait. Quote, it was sort of bobbing up and down, but athletic. Then he recalls the figure took about 3 steps and was out of sight. I did not see it cross in front of me, as when it came into view, it was just as it came into my headlights range. It was not running or moving with haste, just bobbing along in a brisk walk. I will never forget the strange gait and the ways the legs looked. It looked like it could run very fast if it had to or wanted to.
Damn, man.
The Canadian businessman says he is sure that it was not human or an animal he has ever seen before. He says it was not a deer, not a deer, bear, elk, cow, horse, or any other animal. The closest animal comparison I could make would be a black panther with a shaggier coat, slender, walking upright, and with longer legs, or like some sort of hairy centaur.
Shit. Was he drunk? Was he drinking?
He says that he always thought that cryptids were just hoaxes. He's always been skeptical. He's not somebody that was ever looking for them or ever believed in them.
Sure.
He said he'd never been through Wisconsin before or heard of any Wisconsin werewolf stories.
Wow.
He did provide a sketch, which I believe will be in the article when I share it. Back in March, a 13-year-old in Muskego, Wisconsin, allegedly had an encounter with a similar creature. In 2015, a group of 3 people in Michigan reportedly came across an unidentified dog-like creature in the woods of St. Clair County in Wisconsin.
Okay. Huh.
So, yeah, the lower northwestern quadrant of Michigan's Lower Peninsula.
Yeah.
First reportedly spotted in 1887 by 2 lumberjacks who described it as having a human body and a dog's head.
But they said the body was human.
He said, yeah.
Human.
Yeah,
but
the lumberjacks said
that, yeah.
So it was opposite. Well, not necessarily opposite. This guy said he couldn't see the upper half of the thing he saw.
Right. Right.
Even though they said he had human body, doesn't mean that it was like a human. It was probably, I would take that as more like human than dog. Not necessarily it looked like a human. It was just more like a human than dog. A lot of the stories, and another podcast that I listened to called Mysterious Universe just today, or just this week, released an episode talking about different dogman sightings.
Nice.
And most of the sightings talked about how they looked a lot like human. Their skin was really black and they had short hair all over them, just with a dog head. So who knows? Jim says it could have been a demon.
Shit, maybe.
And our buddy Negron that called.
Yeah.
And I think he's related to Miranda in some way because she has Negron in her name on Facebook as well. The guy from Connecticut. It says, shout out to you guys.
Hell yeah.
So yeah, Dogman in Wisconsin. He could be making his way down.
I hope so. Can you imagine coming up on something like that though? Like stumbling across something?
I don't know if it'd be any different than coming across Bigfoot. It'd be a lot like coming across a bear, except for a bear is a known animal, but
exactly.
I don't know.
Except everybody's seen a fucking bear.
How much more dangerous this animal might be than a bear. I just want to come up and pet it. I just, calm him down, just get the scruff of his neck and hold him back and, stick his face in his poop and...
Who's your good boy? Oh, man. So, I got one that's just dumber than shit. Are you ready for this?
Always.
Speaking of demons and all that.
Sorry, I don't mean to cut you off. He doesn't know Miranda. They just both have Negron in their name. That's
interesting. All right.
It's a conspiracy.
It has to be. So, a Polish exorcist claims that a demon won't stop sending him angry text messages.
Ooh.
This is from Week and Weird. So exorcisms are all the rage, so it's only natural that some priests will be feeling some rage for their nemesis. It says, consider the plight of Father Marian Rachel, representing the good parishioners of Jarosław, Poland, who recently applied the power of Christ to compel an evil spirit out of a teenage girl. Now, it appears that Beelzebub's nephew is rightfully pissed off and taking it out on the preacher via text. Now, here's what some of these text messages are saying, okay? Quote, shut up, preacher. And so all do not save yourselves, idiot. You pathetic old preacher, you are weak. And so back to me, do not come out of this hell. She's mine. Has signed a pact with the devil, and anyone who will pay for her, or excuse me, anybody who will pray for her, die. And then he got another one here saying, tomorrow you die. So Rochelle here is taking things in stride, believing this is a cause of automatic writing. And the victim doesn't know what she's actually sending from her phone.
This definitely has a simple explanation.
That she's bat fucking crap crazy and just texting it, looking for more attention?
That could be one. It's not too difficult.
That's where I go.
It's not too difficult to clone a number. It could be somebody that has something against her, goes online, clones the number. I mean, telemarketers do this all the time.
Clone a number? What the fuck does that mean?
I don't know if that's what they call it, but telemarketers do this all the time. They piggyback off of numbers, or bill collectors do this.
What?
They'll just pick a number. That's why if you call back, you never get the company. But I don't know if it's necessarily legal to clone or piggyback a person's personal cell phone number.
That's weird.
But it wouldn't be that hard to do. It would be, I don't know how to do it, but I'm sure I know somebody that could probably do it. You could go in and make it look like the text is coming from yourself.
That is insane. Like, I had no idea you could do this.
I mean, I don't know 100% because I've never done it.
Right.
But that's the first thing I would think. I would think it was somebody messing with me. Somebody that I know that either hates me and wants me to think I'm crazy, or in this case, if it was me, I would think it was somebody that would just try to pull one over on me. Like you.
That's nuts. I would never do that.
Negron says there is an app called Fake ID. I don't know. I haven't seen that one, but yeah, I'm sure it's like I said. You can make it look like it's coming from a certain number.
Okay. Man, that is fucked.
Eric Insbrenner says he's not fucking with us.
But you could.
I am gonna. This is fucked up, and I didn't know if I was gonna say anything because it was my dream, not his.
Come on.
What do we dream this afternoon? And I took a nap this afternoon because I couldn't sleep very well.
Yeah.
And Eric, I went to his house, and it was weird. It was a weird house. There was a guy sitting in the corner, and there was empty fish tanks everywhere. I don't know what the hell was going on.
What is up with your subconscious?
I tried to have a drink, and I felt like I was drugged. And then he was coming on to me, and
he roofed you.
Yeah, he was actually coming on to me and trying to get in my lap. And then I got up and walked in the other room, and my wife was in there because I was like, I'm getting the fuck away from Eric. I don't know if he gives off that sort of vibe. That was weird. And then I got woken up by my dogs barking at the Google Fiber guy putting on the box on the outside.
It's probably for the best that shit happened. Oh my God. What is up with your fucking subconscious, buddy?
I don't know. I think he's projecting it to me.
You know, we need to start a dream journal for you. Any more fucked up things like that happen? I don't know
if I want to remember that dream.
I think you could write this down in a dream journal and then later sell the dream journal, publish it and sell it and probably make trillions because that shit right there was gold, my friend. That was amazing. Oh, so funny. So funny. So you got another one for me?
I do. 12 million year old vehicle tracks found in stone, claims geologist.
What? All right.
So this comes from the Epic Times. Petrified wheel tracks found in various locations, including parts of Turkey and Spain, were left by heavy all-terrain vehicles some 12 million to 14 million years ago, according to Dr. Alexander Koltipen, a geologist and director of the Natural Science Research Center at Moscow's International Independent University of Ecology and Politology? I'm guessing that's politics. Anyways.
I have no idea what that is.
Side note, Eric says the guy in the corner, his name is Steven, and I am in the early stages of tropical fish farm.
Oh, shit. Oh, shit.
I knew, this is way off track from the story. I knew in the dream, as soon as I sat down on your couch, that your eyes were getting shifty, and I was super uncomfortable, and then you tried to climb on top of my lap. I had to get the fuck out of there.
Jason's like, I gotta bounce.
Yeah. Weird.
Wow.
Anyways. We'll go back to the story. This is a somebody's going to get fucked by this little story. Somebody's going to be listening at work or somewhere on the road and have an accident.
Oh my God. I got a lady that listens to the show, and I'm good friends with her or whatever, and she said back in the earlier days, when you and I were doing all this shit, she said she would listen at work, but then she works at a hospital, man, like in his office. She got in trouble because of how many like F-bombs and shit that we drop all the time. When people were hearing it, and they're like, what the fuck is going on in there? Like, oh my goodness. But yeah, she got in a little trouble for that.
On another side note, Negron says he astral projects, and I don't want to get into that right now, but I do want to talk to you soon about that, because I want to start looking into that, and I want to do an episode on that. But back to the...
Yeah, I think we totally should do an episode on that, because that would be badass.
Yeah. We'll be in contact about that, but I'm going to get back to the story here. All right, so... The controversial claim, since human civilization is only thought by mainstream archaeologists to extend back several thousand years, not millions of years.
Right.
That's not to mention the idea of a prehistoric civilization advanced enough to have such vehicles. The wheel tracks cross over faults formed in the middle and late Miocene period about 12 to 14 million years ago, suggesting they are older than those faults. Koltepen said on his website, at the time the ground would have been wet and soft like a malleable clay. The large vehicles sank into the mud as they drove over it. Tire ruts at various depths suggest that over time the area dried out. Vehicles were still driving over it as it dried. The vehicles were similar in length to modern cars, but the tires were about 9 inches wide. The vehicles were similar... Oh, that copied it twice.
Yeah.
He said geological and archaeological works that contained information about these ruts are few and far between, especially in English. Such references usually say the tracks were left by carts pulled by donkeys or camels. Quote, I will never accept it, he wrote of these explanations. I myself will always remember many other inhabitants of our planet wiped from our history. Koltepen maintains that the tracks could not have been left by lightweight carts or chariots, as the vehicles would have been much heavier, to leave these, would need to be, they forgot to put need in there, that's why it was messing me up. They would need to be much heavier to leave these deep impressions. He has conducted many field studies in various locations and reviewed published studies on the local geology extensively. He hypothesized that a network of roads spread through much of the Mediterranean and beyond more than 12 million years ago.
Wow.
They go on to different things about where they are. There's some in Turkey. There's some that are 25 miles long.
Jesus. 25 miles long?
Yeah, mainstream archaeologists attribute many of the tracks to various civilizations at different time periods, but Koltepen or Coltopin said it is not right to attribute identical ruts in underground complexes to different eras and cultures. So he's throwing in underground things too, apparently. So yeah, he says that there's no way these were made by carts.
Fuck. What are your thoughts on this? Oh, yeah.
Okay, so our footprint, human beings as we know it, our footprint on the planet, I'm sure you've heard this before, and I'm sure many of our listeners have heard this before. If you take an hour and condense the entire planetary timeline into an hour, humans are only in like the last minute at most.
Okay.
There's all that other 40 or 59 minutes of that hour where supposedly humans are not in existence as we are today.
Okay.
If there was something that popped up before a cataclysm that we would have no record of what was before that because everything was wiped out. There are some things that could happen to our planet that would completely wipe out not only us, but everything we've ever put on the planet.
Yes.
Except for maybe stuff like this.
I was going to say, now, I don't even know. I don't even know where to begin. I got nothing.
Yeah.
I don't even know, man. Like, I have no idea.
Eric and Jim think it's time travel. It's Dr. Brown and the DeLorean.
Fuck yeah, it is.
I think there's definitely a good possibility that there was a civilization here before even the beginnings of our species started up.
Okay.
It could have been a different species, or there could have been something that they one or two survived somewhere and they were able to restart somehow. I think that our history is as questionable as everything else.
Yeah.
So who knows?
It's an interesting story, though. It makes me wonder, okay, their method of testing, right? Where they can look at anything, a fucking rock, okay? They can look at a fucking rock that you can hold in your hand, and they can be like, well, this must have been from the era, or whatever. This has to be exactly years old, right? What is their method of testing? Like, I have no fucking idea about any of this, okay? I know, like, when we want to date certain things, certain objects, or whatever we do, or at least used to do a lot of that carbon dating, correct?
Yeah.
Is this similar to that in some way?
I don't know. I'm looking right now at a question asking what kind of rock it was in.
See, that's a great question.
Says there are heavy mineral deposits coating the tracks, and the erosion also suggests such great antiquity that the stuff layered on top of the rock
is what's giving it its age, is what is defining its age. And this is underneath all of that shit that's piled up on.
So he says that petrification can happen within a few hundred years or even a few months, depending on the condition. So it is not the fact that the wheel ruts are petrified that suggests they are very old. But Coltopin argues that the other geological evidence suggests that they were made during the Miocene period millions of years ago, including what is layered on top of it.
Okay.
So
see, I can buy that.
Yeah.
It makes sense.
Who knows?
It's fucking weird.
We'll probably never know, really.
I don't think there's any definitive way to actually know that. To figure that out. I think you just found some really interesting fucking tire tracks that may or may not be fucking millions of years old. You know what I mean? Like, we have no idea. We'll never know. Fuck me running. That was a good story, buddy.
I have another good story.
Do you?
Russian unveils death ray for downing drones.
You know,
this isn't even my end of the world story. This is my
you mentioned Russia, though, and I instantly think end of the world.
I did. I think I talked to you the other day about Russia.
Did you?
There's shit going on with them.
I always talk about Russia.
And the other backing stuff that's going on with them. So I'm sure you've heard about our attacks on some of our ships from Iranian-backed rebels in Yemen.
I have not heard of that.
You haven't heard about that? You've been pretty busy, so...
I've been in the call.
They're not really talking about it too much, but there's been some of our ships outside of Yemen that have been attacked with some sort of rocket propelled grenade or something like that. I wasn't prepared to talk about it, so I don't have the details on top.
Yeah.
But
is it doing some fucking damage though, or people getting hurt, or what?
I don't know if anybody was killed. We attacked back. The thing about these rebels are they're backed by Iran,
right?
Which is in a way backed by Russia. So not only do we have the problem with Iran, we also have their backers, Russia, which we've had all kinds of stresses, is a nice way to put it, going on lately with them.
It's a nice way to put it. That's fucking crazy. No, I hadn't heard any of that, though. Sons of bitches. It's crazy, though.
I don't know. There's so much disinformation and stuff out there about everything. It's hard to tell. But I do know that these attacks happened. And I do know that the rebels were backed by Russia. Which, I'm not saying that Russia directly is backing these rebels, but that's the line. Russia is sort of backers for Iran, so there's a line there. So there's a reason. I don't know. I'm not a religious person, but the Bible states that the apocalypse, the end times, will start in the Middle East.
Yeah.
And if we have a war that breaks out into like a world war, it's probably going to start there. So whether you're religious or not, I think that the Bible will have that right. It will absolutely have that right if it happens. So
yeah.
Who knows? So anyways, Russia unveils death ray for downing drones. This comes from Coast to Coast. The Russian government has unveiled a worrisome new microwave weapon that is reportedly capable of disabling drones and missiles up to a half a mile away. Showcased at a weapons expo for the Russian military, the monstrous machine uses directed energy to disrupt the electronics of enemy aircraft and render them inoperable. It could also theoretically be used on people that pose a threat to the country either on the battlefield or other arenas of war.
That's what I was going to ask.
Well, I'm going to read the article and then I'll tell you what it looked like to me. Because they show a picture of it, at least. I don't know if it's the actual picture of it, but it's a representation. A spokesman for the company that developed the gun boasted to Sputnik News that this is a completely new type of weapon that has no equals, whether in this country or anywhere else in the world. I'm going to take issue with that here at the end. Anyways, despite those claims, one suspects the United States and other nations may have similar weapons in the arsenal, but opt not to display them to the world, such as, I don't know what the hell that word is, vainglorious? Such a vainglorious fashion?
Okay.
I've heard of vain and I've heard of glorious. Have you ever heard of them put together?
I have.
Like, I'm usually the one on the show that knows most of the words.
That's fair.
A lot of the times, if you don't know the word, I will know what it means. I've never seen this word before.
Fair assessment.
I'm not giving you shit. I just say it's been a lot of times that if you don't know the word, I've known what it was. Anyways,
Like, look, I'm not calling you dumb.
Additionally, those concerned about the weapon can take some solace in knowing that the device revealed by the Russians this week is actually far less powerful than they had originally planned. When the nation announced the development of the weapons last year, military officials claimed that it would be able to hit targets up to 6 miles away. With that in mind, let's hope that their current claims of a half-mile range for the device are equally hyperbolic statements and that the death ray really only amounts to little more than a weaponized microwave oven. So,
yeah.
Eric says that the apocalypse happened last week after Taco Tuesday.
Oh, we missed it.
We survived.
We survived.
So my take on this and what the picture looked like, we already have a weapon like this.
What's the weapon?
And then we've actually had it for quite a few years. It's a truck. It's a big military truck with what looks like a stop sign on top of it.
Yeah.
And it's green and it is on all the pictures anyways. And it's a directional microwave weapon. It's a personnel dispersal weapon. They've been testing it. I've seen videos of it tested, and this has been out for probably 10, 15 years.
Yeah.
And it's a microwave weapon. And it was used and built to disperse crowds of people. It was directional. You could point it at a crowd of people from up to a half a mile away and make them feel uncomfortable so that they would have to disperse. If they could probably figure out a way to turn it up to cook people, I wouldn't be surprised. But it was used to make people feel uncomfortable to disperse.
Yeah, we've talked about them on the show before.
And a lot of people think, a lot of conspiracy theorists, and I wouldn't be surprised either. I could say I'm a conspiracy theorist. I wouldn't be surprised that they're already employing this stuff or have this stuff deployed in the United States on a smaller scale than what we've seen to use in case unruly crowds break out. So I think it's a story, but I think this is not a news story. They may have changed it a little bit, but that would be the same scientific, and as far as I know, it would be the same function. You just point it at a plane or a drone instead of at people. You might have to pump it up, but a microwave is a microwave. It could take out electronics, or it could make a person feel uncomfortable. So I'm shooting down my own story that I pulled because I don't think it's a news story. I think it's made to heighten what's going on between us and Russia.
And that's very possible. Stranger things have happened.
Speaking of stranger things, my daughter this morning when I was taking her to school, I picked her up from her mom's house. I don't have her Mondays. I picked her up from her mom's house to take her to school. And as we were driving to school, she said, "This weekend I sat down with my friend and watched the entire series of Stranger Things."
And
she said there were some gross parts, but she actually liked it.
Did she really?
She didn't necessarily understand what the creature was. She thought it was an alien.
Oh.
But she watched the whole thing with her friends.
Good for her.
Yeah.
Did you hug her extra tight? Say you're proud of her? You should have.
Yeah.
I would have.
And then I got to thinking, I guess it's not too bad for a 13-year-old. So.
Yeah, absolutely.
I tried to think about, because it's been a while since I've watched it, what's in there because if it could easily be made into a rated R movie. If you add stuff. But I think it's fine for her age.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah, but I mean, you add a couple F-bombs in there or anything like that, and it could easily be rated R. But so I pulled this story. I was reading through this story, and I found it interesting because I've had similar experiences of something that I'm going to mention here in this story. But a woman shares audio of a ghostly phone message left by her recently deceased father. Did you see anything like this, pal?
Not a new one. I've heard stuff like this before.
It was interesting. I'll get there. But so it says there's been a rash of strange audio messages, that have been floating around the internet recently, and shockingly, many of them are actually quite compelling. The most recent bizarre recording, however, has been chilling the spines of anybody who hears it, myself included. After receiving a message from the phone number 00000-000-000.
Ooh, another clone number.
Well, it's interesting because this has happened to me. This actually happened to me over the course of 1 week, 3 to 4 times a day. I was getting a phone call from this number that was literally just a string of zeros.
When you interjected there, I thought you were reading that. I thought that came from the article.
Oh, sorry, no. This actually happened to me. I had a very similar experience of this. That's why I found this interesting. But anyway, in a thread posted to Reddit, the user Heaven in Her Arms asked paranormal fans what they thought of a very strange 10-second clip her mother had received earlier that day. So this would be the daughter of the woman who received the message. The number, which appeared as a series of zeros, went straight to voicemail, leaving behind a message that both Heaven in Her Arms and her mother are positive belonged to their late family member. Now, according to the daughter or whatever, not only would this have not been a typical message for her grandfather to leave, but there were other strange details that convinced her it was actually him calling from the other side. So the man had died just in March from this mesothelioma. And
should have hired Brown. And
the poster swears that her grandfather spoke with quite a bit of fluid in his lungs, just as the voice in the message would suggest as well. So obviously the first thing that they did was begin talking to family members, saying, hey, did somebody forward this, an old message, maybe by accident or whatever, but nobody had heard it before. It was very strange. So then what else does it say? Most people seem to agree that there was absolutely something strange about the audio clip. Quite a few people have experienced the 00 number in regards to their own strange phone messages. See, like I said,
did you have a message, or did they just call?
But I always had missed calls because it would ring through. Never had a voicemail, ever. Crazy stuff. So it says, with ghostly phone messages, there's usually no intelligent verbal communication attempted. In fact, most times they sound like recordings rather than attempts at reaching out. That's what makes this recording so interesting. So even though it says the man isn't speaking to his family the way he normally would have in life, it appears that he may possibly be trying to contact them now. But here, I'm just gonna fucking play it. I'm gonna see if this works, if you guys can hear it. Let's see if this actually works here, if this brings it up. What the fuck?
Huh. It's probably okay. We got a couple things on here. I know what the actual lawyer website or name is. Eric was like, it's Brown and Crouppen. Yeah, I know that. I was making fun of that. Jim says there are cases of deceased people calling a person's phone. Heather says ghosts have iPhones now, and Jim says new iPhone 7, but they probably have the Galaxy Note 7.
It's very, very strange shit, though.
You got it?
No, I'm still working on it.
It's great that they think that it's the grandfather.
It's probably comforting as fuck, right?
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to shoot it down on that.
You're shooting it down right now.
I definitely think this is a possibility. You got it?
Yeah, here.
This is Dad. I was trying to contact you. This is Dad.
That's it.
Huh.
Did you hear it? Could you hear it?
Yeah, I heard it.
Okay.
That means everybody on Twitch should be able to hear it too.
Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting because like weird shit like this does happen.
Okay,
it does happen.
Yeah, I think this could definitely be a real thing. I don't know about I don't think it has to be from a certain phone number. I do think that maybe the ones you got were just a computer dialing numbers. You don't know because you don't have a recording. You didn't answer any of that.
I did answer once, and there was just nothing.
Yeah.
There wasn't white noise. It was just nothing at the end.
You can't, like... If it sounds like your grandfather or your father...
I mean, that was quite clear.
Whoever. Yeah, it was clear.
Voice was very clear.
The one thing that I... Just devil's advocate, because I do... Like I said, I do think it could happen. But I do know that you're going to hear what you want to hear in it.
Exactly.
There might be some little thing that makes you think that it's your grandfather, but really it doesn't sound like it, but in your mind it sounds like it.
Yeah.
So that's just a possibility because, I mean, they have a scientific term for that, but I don't know what it is off the top of my head. A scientific term for recognizing something in a voice that's not really there, that you think it's there.
Okay.
But Jim wants you to play it again.
Okay. 1 second, guys. I'm getting there. See if I can do this.
This is Dad. I was trying to contact you. This is Dad.
And that's it.
Sounds like a lot like Jimmy Don Jensen.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know. I'm not going to tell him that it can't be. It could definitely be their father or grandfather.
Right.
I think that there could be a lot of explanations for it.
Well, absolutely. I just think it's a weird string of coincidences, though, that she gets a weird number. It goes straight to voicemail. It doesn't even ring. And then there's this voicemail, and it's, it sounds very similar to her deceased father. I mean, that's bizarre to me. And just says things like, just trying to contact you. This is Dad. It was very nonchalant. Like the voice.
Heather wants to know if Jimmy Don is still alive or did he get abducted. We do not know. We have no idea.
We don't know. And some detective work for us and see if he's still out there.
That reminds me. I will do some detective work. But we do have a couple texts and calls that I should have... Before we get to the end of the world story, I'll talk about these texts and calls real quick. So,
what the effing fuck are you doing, man?
Hey.
Hey.
I had a long day of traumatic dreams and shit.
That's right.
I don't know if I read this one. I'm pretty sure this is Miranda.
Okay.
Yeah, it is. Josh could definitely rock a power mullet. LOL, love this episode. I'm not sure. Oh, I love true crime. We were talking about the serial killers. I love the true crime and serial killers. It's so fascinating. Glad you guys did this one. You guys are awesome as usual.
Let me just go on record here and say, really,
have a power mullet?
I actually did have a mullet, and I don't remember what grade, but I will show you the picture. Heather, you will appreciate this too, because in the picture, I'm rocking the fucking mullet, and I've got a Garth Brooks t-shirt on.
You got to put it on the Facebook page.
I am looking all sorts of pretty fucking fly for a white guy.
All right, we got a new texter.
I think it should be our new logo. Yeah. Anyway, go ahead.
We got a new texter, Mike from Holden, Missouri, says, cool. What about the afterlife for a topic? Is there a heaven and hell? What are ghosts? We did do an episode on types of ghosts.
I like that.
Does it mean we can't do it again?
No, I like his idea. I like it.
Yeah, we'll put it down on the...
Actually,
I think... I don't know. We'll have to look into it more. We may be able to separate that into a heaven episode and a hell episode.
Ooh.
Back to back. You know, our 150th episode's coming up soon.
This is 150 right now.
Oh, well, we'll have to do...
40, 50.
We'll have to do something special later.
Special 152.
Shaggy texts me all the time.
Hell yeah.
So I got quite a few from Shaggy here. It says, hey, I live in the Highlands, Texas, which is right next door to Baytown, which is actually where I work all night, and they just caught 2 clowns here at Jenkins Park in Baytown.
Bucks.
Brilliant guys. One of them was arrested for outstanding warrants or something like that. Nothing like putting a target on your back when you have outstanding warrants.
Real fucking cute, moron. Duh.
It says, okay, I can give some clarity on the winged creature story because I follow La Marzilli. You remember that it came back as a hoax, right?
I don't know.
The one in the jar. The creature in the jar.
Oh, yeah.
And I had you had the story about it, and then it was Ask Brian.
Yep, fucking Brian. Anyway.
He says he got the creature from a famous TV UFO personality from Mexico City, whose name I'm not even going to try to spell, has had a UFO program there for, like, I don't know, 200 years or something crazy. Anyways, from what I understand, he had the creature for a while and was waiting till he could actually do the proper testing on it. They did some initial testing, which revealed some interesting things, and he let the story out, but saying more testing needed to be done. He just recently came out on Skywatch TV with the interview because he got the initial testing finally done, but people had already ran with the story, and now after the proper testing had been done, it's confirmed to be a hoax. Says, I don't think La Marzilli and his team were purposefully trying to hoax anybody. I think they got fooled as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
He says, hashtag demon mouse farts.
That has to be a thing now. Demonic mouse farts. That sounds like a fucking band name, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Welcome to the stage. Demonic mouse farts.
We got a phone call too. I'll save that for next one.
Okay. Cool.
So yeah, those are the texts we got this week.
Nice. Very nice. Now, drum roll. Tell me how we're going to die.
So this story is not necessarily a story in that they're saying the world is going to end. This is a story about what could possibly end us in the future.
Okay.
Headline: Massive wandering black hole found moving through galaxy.
Fuck yeah. Just be swallowed up. Maybe it's already started, and that's why everything's going all fucked up. And you think?
Maybe. I mean, maybe that's why Trump's hair sticks up.
It could be, man.
I saw a video once on History Channel years ago. I think it was History Channel. Maybe it was online. I don't know. Where it explained 7 different ways that we could end, and the black hole was one of them. And they showed a rendering of it, what they thought exactly would happen if a black hole came close enough, and the way we would all be sucked into it. And pretty much our atmosphere would be stripped pretty quickly, and we would die of suffocation before we were sucked into it.
Yeah, it's fucking depressing.
It all depends on how fast. Like, if it was approaching us, the lighter things would get pulled in first, including our atmosphere. If it was generated here,
fucking CERN,
it could pull everything in before we suffocated.
Yeah,
but I don't know if they really can say with 100% certainty they know exactly what would happen. Anyways, this comes from Mysterious Universe. And I'll just read the article. Here's the next thing to keep you awake at night. Scanning the skies with your telescope for telltale signs of Armageddon, astronomers have discovered a wandering black hole that left its galaxy and is roaming the universe untethered, consuming anything and everything in its path.
All right.
And it has over 100,000 times the mass of our sun.
Holy shit.
So are you awake yet? Using NASA's Chandra X-ray Observatory and ESA XMM Newton X-ray Observatory, astronomers from the University of New Hampshire found the wandering black hole when the telescope detected a massive and bright X-ray burst that usually signifies a black hole consuming another star. Sure enough, they found XJ1417 plus 52 at hyperluminous X-ray source, according to the report.
Fuck.
And they called it a wandering black hole because it was loose wandering around space. The researchers found the wandering black hole while analyzing data from the extended Groth strip, an area between the constellations of Ursa Major and Boats, and another great name for a band, which contains at least 50,000 galaxies and is a good source of data on the early universe. It appears in the strip near the lenticular galaxy. There's like 20 numbers and letters there. Anyways.
Yeah, fuck that.
4.5 billion light years from space. So I think we are safe from it for now.
Yeah, for now.
But that's not what... I'm not so worried about that one. Because if this can happen, there could be more. What?
You would think.
What created the wandering black hole and why is it footloose? NASA had this response based on images from the Hubble telescope. The location and brightness of the optical source in the Hubble image that may be associated with this suggests that the black hole could have originally belonged to a small galaxy that plowed into a larger galaxy, stripping away most of the galaxy's stars, but leaving behind the black hole and its surrounding stars at the center of the small galaxy. So the wandering black hole is a result of a collision of galaxies that destroyed the smaller one, turning it into a black hole that travels through the larger galaxy and continues to consume constellations, creating the bright light and X-ray bursts picked up by Chandra and XMM Newton observatories. It says the existence of wandering black holes has been theorized by astronomers, but this is the first real evidence of one. It says fortunately it's 4.5 billion light years away. So
it's fucked up.
Yeah.
What happens if the black hole attempts to eat another black hole?
The bigger, more powerful one wins out. That would be my guess.
Okay. I'm fine with that. Scary shit, though, buddy.
So, yeah, I mean, there could be one out there close to us that we don't know about. It's a possibility.
It's always a possibility. We're going to die. God.
But, theoretically, we're all going to die.
Yeah, we're going to die. I get it. But, I mean, we're going to die sooner than I think
I think that it's how you go that matters.
What the fuck?
What?
Huh. Crazy. No, I just got a weird message.
No, yeah?
Yeah. Huh.
Is it
Crazy.
from 000000?
No, it's nothing like that. Anyway.
So I don't think sucked into a wormhole would be too bad, or not a wormhole, a black hole would be too bad of a way to go if it happens fast.
But there's so much about black holes that we don't know. That's what's scary about it.
Yeah, the thing is if one were to approach us, we would know most likely that it was coming, unless it was created close to us, not even by us.
Yeah.
Theoretically, and I say theoretically because I don't know, but I think I know.
Right, sweetie.
The black hole is created from a collapsing star.
Yes.
A series of stars that pulls everything else into it. So it probably couldn't just form around us naturally. But I don't know. There could be some mechanism that we don't know about that could cause that to happen. But that being said, if that didn't happen, if one was approaching us, we would have, unless it was traveling immense speeds, we would have good warning because it would pull in the outer solar system before it got to us.
Wow. I'm like freaked out right now.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Why?
It's fucking weird. It's just weird. I need a telescope. I need like a really good telescope.
So you can see the incoming, or you can see the anal probe coming?
I don't know. Both. Son of a bitch. Oh. I swear to God, buddy. Yeah, we're all going to croak somehow, though. That's for damn sure. It's going to happen. We know it's going to happen.
It's a mathematical certainty that the planet will end. It's just who knows when.
Don't know when. 913-730-7255 for the Ectoplasm Show. Text us. Give us a call.
Go to YouTube. Subscribe.
Yeah. Dude, good on you, though. We have, 62 subscribers or some shit like that over there, I saw?
Yeah, and that's just in, 2 weeks, so...
There you go, man. It's pretty good.
That's not a huge amount, but it's growing.
Yeah. You can check us out on Instagram and Twitter at Ectoplasm Show. We're tweeting, Instagramming. The Ectoplasm Show on Facebook.
And Twitch. Hello? Are you gone? I can't hear you anymore. That's not good. Can you hear me? I can't hear. Okay.
It's not you, dude. It's me. It's my shit over here.
Huh. Weird.
That fucks me up, man.
Heather says
what's going on with this stuff, man.
She likes to watch him freak out. So
yeah, I was like, got nothing. Anyway, give us a call, text us, whatever. Let us know how you think the world's gonna end. We'll entertain that. But yeah, I hope you guys are doing great. Hope everybody's doing well. We'll talk to you again early on Friday morning. Everybody take care. Peace out.
Bye.